Tuesday, May 19th edition of the Carolina Weather Video. I'm meteorologist Matthew East here along with you. Let's start off with a look there at the Avalon Pier web camera this morning. Nice looking scene out there over the Atlantic Ocean as that sky is beginning to brighten as we approach 5:30 this morning. Another mild and humid start to the day. The temperature there is 74. And it is another summer-like morning in place here across many of the Piedmont zones, too. Look at these final highs from yesterday. Raleigh hit 91. It was 92 for high in Fayetteville. 89 down in Columbia across the Triad viewing area. Did hit 90 in Burlington yesterday, just shy of 90 in Reedsville, Winston-Salem at 88. In the Charlotte area, Albemarle, Wadesboro, Rockingham all at 91. It hit 90 in Rock Hill and Concord, upper 80s elsewhere. So it was a very warm and very humid day yesterday too, and that humidity is still with us this morning, and it's still quite mild as well. There's temperatures in the 60s to around 70 or so, pretty much region wide, but changes are coming. Now, this was the radar presentation throughout the day yesterday, and really we're looking at the afternoon to the evening perspective. Ended up with a pretty intense and electric thunderstorm that rolled through the Charlotte area during the 8 to 9 o'clock time period yesterday evening. Other scattered intense storms to be found elsewhere across the region yesterday. All is quiet now on the radar perspective across the region. Nothing happening. What's left of yesterday's activity is up here with parts of the mid-Atlantic region and the eastern seaboard. And so far, really nothing happening with that incoming cold front. But I do think a few showers and storms pop up this afternoon associated with that front as it begins to move in. And look at this. I wanted to show you all the activity off into the western part of the country. Some Rocky Mountain snow. And then you get down into the lower elevations, it's rain, and it's pretty heavy. And then look at New Mexico. Several severe thunderstorm warnings there early this morning. Some flash flooding issues around the San Angelo, Texas area. So really a lot going on there in the Rocky Mountain region and the southern plain states early this morning. Now, it is mild and humid all across the eastern part of the country, even all the way up to Rochester, New York. It's 67. Pittsburgh at 67, 70 degrees in Nashville. But look at this, much cooler air with the upper Midwest and the northern plains, and that's behind this incoming front. And there that front comes as we go through the afternoon hours today. Look for a few showers and thunderstorms out there before the drier air begins to sweep in later this evening and tonight. Another very warm day. There's your anticipated highs on this Tuesday across the region. Now we get on out into tomorrow. Really nice looking day across the region. And here comes the drier air. Now these are the dew point temperatures as I'm cutting the video. Very muggy conditions with 60 plus dew points. But again, look there toward the plain states, the upper Midwest. There's your drier air, and that is going to be heading our way. Here's the dew point forecast on the RPM modeling. It stays pretty muggy today, but then that front sweeps through, and there comes the drier air working into much of the region. So across most of the Piedmont zones and the foothills and the mountains of North Carolina, you're going to be trading in the sticky dew points for those really, really nice humidity levels tomorrow. But quick weather changes, and as we get into Thursday, another little area of low pressure spins up. After 80s with low humidity on Wednesday, we're looking at a day Thursday where that low pressure begins to develop, and that's going to spread in at least some chance of rain and maybe a few thunderstorms. I think the greatest concentration of rain Thursday will be the closer to the coast you get. We're just going to have to see exactly how that low pressure unfolds, and there's what we're going with at the current time for highs Thursday, subject to change. As we get out into the weekend, still looks very good. There's Saturday on the European model. Really nice weather day. Maybe some clouds trying to work in Sunday, but still looks like a really nice weekend overall. All right, on to the high resolution modeling. This is the GFS model for this afternoon on Weather Bell. That's valid early this afternoon, and then that's the precipitation through the rest of the afternoon and into the evening. You see the effects of that front as it sweeps on through. Now the high resolution NAM model is completely dry today for Charlotte and most of the Triad. It doesn't really get anything going until it gets further to the east. Here's the high resolution rapid refresh. And I'm kind of leaning my forecast in this direction with at least a few showers or thunderstorms a possibility back toward the I-85 corridor briefly today as this cold front moves in before the drier air takes over. This is tomorrow. Looking good across the region. There's your Wednesday highs on the GFS. Still pretty warm behind the front, but it will be noticeably less humid. Now there's Thursday. This is the GFS depiction. Broad low pressure kind of centered over the lower Georgia area. Spread some rain up into parts of the region. On the European model, the low is a little further to the north. And again, though, even in that scenario, it's the eastern parts of the region that have the greatest coverage of rain and thunderstorms. Here's the NAM depiction. And it, again, in the eastern Carolinas, that looks to be your greatest coverage of rain and a few thunderstorms as you get into Thursday and early Thursday evening. Now, behind that little low pressure, Friday looks very nice with really a pretty good amount of sunshine, highs upper 70s, maybe lower 80s. And again, here's the setup. This is Saturday morning, big sprawling high pressure moving in, so the weekend looks very nice. Saturday, sunshine, upper 70s and lower 80s. Now, the GFS model wants to bring in a few afternoon showers or storms on Sunday. The European is dry, and I have kept the forecast dry for Sunday and Monday for the time being, even though, again, on Monday there for the GFS, you see a few showers or storms. But then I went ahead and did bring in on Tuesday a little better chance of a few of those showers and storms. It'll just depend on how close the next front eases to the area early next week. And it also could get pretty hot early next week again, too. Monday and Tuesday, those temperatures really surge, and for the time being, I'm going with the idea of some highs toward the upper 80s during that time period, but the European is going nuts with temperatures with some mid-90s even in place across the Piedmont by Monday or Tuesday of next week. And again, that might be, probably is, overdone temperature-wise, but something to keep an eye on. Definitely looks warmer again early next week. All right, that is it for today's edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Everybody have a wonderful day, and God bless.